Hello everyone, myself Nimi Benny, the author of paper Fostering Urban Inclusivity, a critical assessment of how an urban environment affects women in public spaces. The co-authors are Professor Sharat Sundar, Professor Prajita Tike, and Dr. Manoj Kumar Kini, and we are all from Department of Architecture and Planning, College of Engineering, Trivandrum. The world population is growing and becoming more urbanized. Women are increasingly moving from private sphere to public sphere. UN projects roughly equal number of males and females worldwide by the end of 2050. Changing role of women in society necessitates a reworking of traditional male-only public venues. They're taking on responsibilities of managing households and contributing financially. Additionally, women are becoming more socially active, signaling a departure from traditional gender roles, highlighting the importance of creating inclusive public spaces. In world scenario, women's participation in employment and decision-making are growing as the cultural standards shift. And that's the same in India. Women are conscious of inconveniences and social injustices they face. There are well-educated and career-focused women. There's a consistent upward trend in women's employment and educational prospects throughout time in India. The aim is to critically assess the urban environment and its effect on women in public spaces, emphasizing the creation of design framework aimed at promoting inclusivity. The objectives are to identify the factors that influence the quality of life for women, focusing on their experiences, challenges, and aspirations. To analyze different socio-economical, cultural, and environmental elements that concerns women, to propose innovative urban design framework that enhance the overall urban experience for women. The scope is to comprehensively explore the impact of urban environment on women, particularly when women's societal roles continue to modify, by analyzing and evaluating it, with a focus on Indian setting. More studies may be conducted to investigate the broader impacts. Limitation lies in the attempt to gain comprehensive understanding of women, as women is not homogeneous, rather it comprises of individuals that with diverse personal and social circumstances. It spans factors such as age, socioeconomic background, ethnicity, life experiences, marital status, etc. Defining public spaces. A public space is an area or place that is open and accessible to the general public. We explore the different concepts regarding the evaluation of public spaces, such as concepts of placemaking, the 12 quality criteria for good design of public spaces by Jan Gale, 5 dimension of public spaces, the STAR model of publicness. There are these gender, social construction, and public space conduct. As American philosopher and gender theorist Judith Butler said, masculine and feminine roles are not biologically fixed but socially constructed. Gender stereotypes and expectations and social conventions have significant impact on how people behave and transverse in public spaces. In the book Family Fortunes, Men and Women of English Middle Class, 1780 to 1850, the authors put the idea where women are confined to their home. There are these two spheres, the public sphere, which includes politics, business, knowledge, fact, science, and education, whereas the private sphere, which is home, religion, family, values, and morals, where the women are confined. Why public spaces are not women-friendly? Cities were designed by men for men. In the book The Second Sex, the author discusses how women were seen as secondary to men. There are a set of barriers which is invisible to the men, and there are gender division of labor where the construction and planning sectors has been dominated by men, where women have been traditionally associated with the private spaces. The next reason is the land use and zoning, which influences women's everyday life. Women frequently want to reduce traveling distances across their homes and jobs, especially married women having the shortest trip durations. The other reason is accessibility, utilizing public spaces and services without restrictions or hurdles. Next one is safety, a sensation of insecurity and fear stemming from a perception their personal security is in danger. The concept of eyes on streets is very famous for. Next one is mobility. Women use more public transport and walk more than men who drive. Male-dominated commuting habits frequently influence the transportation system. Followed by health and hygiene, emphasizing the value of access to hygienic and secure restrooms for women. Literature case studies were selected. The one is the women-friendly space in Damietta, the other one is Buenos Aires in Argentina, and the third one is the Malvian Nagar in Delhi. Various parameters were identified from the literature review as shown in this table. Live case study was done in Marine Drive, which is a significant public space located in Kochi, Kerala, India. It's a 2.5 promenade along the shore of Vamanath Kyle and a popular destination. The study of Marine Drive has been undertaken as an integrated approach, including surveying of 100 women using this space. Live case study helped in understanding the different aspects of a public space, starting with the connectivity. Connection was evaluated with ease of access and the transportation system that connected to this public space. From the survey, it was understood that more than 55% of women highly depend on public transport. Understanding morphology along with land use categorizes this region into 4 areas. The first one is industrial area, which is inactive, and women hesitate to travel to this end due to safety concerns. The second one is residential area, which demands privacy, and the construction of boundary walls creates an edge condition, which is both visually and physically impermeable at ground level. level. The third one is the public area, which has visually porous edges. The fourth one is commercial area, which is a very dynamic environment. Next factor is the ecology, which is a combination of natural features along with the presence of waterfront. It is important to note that all the sections of Marine Drive have shaded pathways, leaving certain portions open to weather, which really affects the behavior of women. Basic infrastructure in Marine Drive includes light fixtures, parking, ample seating arrangements, dedicated dustbins, security personnel, clear signages, tactile pavements. The survey resulting in a welcoming atmosphere for women who visit this place. The last one is the activity, which adds life to the space. There are two types of activity generators. The first one is temporary activity generators, like street vendors, art exhibitions, food trucks, and seasonal markets. The second one is the permanent activity generators, which includes shops, seating spaces, water metro stations, boat, outdoor gym equipment, and piers. Both of them together create complex and dynamic public spaces, which keeps the space alive, inclusive, and welcoming. Moving on to the parameters identified using the 3 literature case studies and 1 live case study has been shown in the table. Findings and inferences. A conceptual framework was developed to address the 5 primary aspects of a public space, which includes design aspects, physical aspects, environmental aspects, cultural aspects, and economical aspects. The design aspects can be categorized into 4 categories, which is land, landscape, surrounding buildings, basic infrastructure, and outdoor furniture. The other 4 aspects were classified further into generic category and specific category. Physical aspects are those that can be physically observed and perceived. Generic category of this aspect includes accessibility, mobility, land use, visibility, proximity, spatial activity, permeability. Specific category includes walkability, scale, transparency, wayfinding, territoriality, and activity generators. Environmental aspects entails developing livable and sustainable cities. Generic category it includes climate, cleanliness, and pollution. Specific category includes safety, inclusiveness, feeling, comfort, and diverse. Cultural aspects comprises of past, present, and cultural features. It contributes to the location's distinctiveness and relevance. It includes generic category of heritage, public art and expression, events and festivals, local materials and techniques. The specific category includes inclusiveness, feeling, and diverse. Economic aspects pertains with the economic attributes of the users. The generic category includes affordability, transportation saving, and advanced technology. And the specific category includes inclusiveness and diversity. Now that the conceptual framework has been developed, a demonstration of this conceptual framework is applied on a design element, land. Land serves as foundation for public space, and it is a very precious resource. It is characterized by land use, ownership, edge condition with respect to the public space user. A physical aspect of a land accessibility can be solved at 2 levels, macro level and micro level, by ensuring prevention of transit stops on or nearby public spaces at walkable distance by strategic placement, and incorporating multiple entry points at the space. Mobility is an effective, efficient movement in and around the public spaces, tackled by planning, designing of terrain, roads, etc. There should be unobstructed movement by providing essential routes for diverse users. Land use of nearby region and abutment land has a major impact on public spaces. It could be segregated or integrated. Encouraging integrated and mixed use could strive the balanced combination and bring vitality to the space. Spatial activity with respect to land could be temporary or permanent. The guideline is to encourage design of public spaces with flexible and adaptive approach. Visibility with regard to land is visual linkages. The guideline is to encourage abutting lands to incorporate visually permeable boundaries to maintain the clear line of sight for unobstructed views and contribute to natural surveillance. Permeability with respect to land is the extent to which it admits or inhibits the movement of a user. There is a need for both visual and physical permeability, so there is an important strategic positioning of elements in provision of access. Territoriality, which is a perception of edge condition. The guideline is to ensure surveillance at ground level by building the visual linkages at 3 different categories, that is the private abutting land, public abutting land, and the semi-public abutting land. Activity generators bringing life into space. It could be events, elements, or spaces. The guidelines is to provide designated flexible spaces that aid both temporary and permanent activity. Wayfinding is where users orient themselves. Guideline is to enhance landmarks within or near the public space by identifying them according to its significance. Pollution with respect to environmental aspect with regard to land. The guideline is to encourage pollution mitigation by integrating buffer zones or similar activities into public spaces. By this ends demonstration of conceptual framework being applied onto single design element, land. Conclusion. Creating women-friendly spaces is critical for promoting inclusion and safety in urban environments. Designing it is necessary to encourage women to use public spaces by identifying the controlling key elements and contribute to the overall experience for women. The conceptual framework developed in this paper can be used as a foundation to create strategies and guidelines by applying onto different aspects to the different design aspects for an effective use of these parameters identified. These can help to create spaces that are more women friendly spaces. Thank you everyone for your valuable time.